one of the things that it does, apart from leading us to social death, the result of it is what I call cultural dismembering and identity dismembering, which emerges, which we see with our people failing to clearly define who they are. And often, our people cannot then identify with in their own language. I would have preferred to speak in Ndebele, but because we have your worship here and some of our visitors here, I thought it would be good that I engage you all in English. But I'm hoping that people will understand. What I'm arguing here is that then, one then begins to exist in that space, I call it the liminal space, where identity and belonging exists at the level of just a fuss. You are no longer Ndebele, you are in diaspora, you no longer don't know really who you are. This is what has brought us here today, to try and revive Ubuntu Betu. Now, some of our brothers, and you can put yourselves in different spaces. I'm not going to put people in those spaces, but people will imagine where they are. But some of our brothers and sisters have remained in that liminal space. And most of them are consumed by the desire to emulate the life of their oppressor. And I must actually, by the way, I'm one of the people who's very direct about these things, and I've written about it without shame. Our oppressors actually in Zimbabwe are the Shona, and you'll be lying if you say they are not. Our people exist in that liminal space where they actually attempt to emulate their oppressors. And so they look at the oppressors and even the children of the oppressors with envy. But it only ends at the point of salivation. You can't go beyond. You only salivate and it ends there. A very good example I will give, I was doing research at one point, one of the pubs, I don't know whether people still remember that. The pub, I was doing research there. I met some, I was doing focus group discussions. I met some people from Mhlanga, Abadala, and one of them was sharing his experiences with us. In fact, we had one too many, so he had the courage to say a few things. So he had one too many and he was sharing his experiences. He says to me, my manager just came from Harare. He doesn't know anything. I'm the one who's teaching him. And I'm so proud, I'm doing a good job. I'm teaching this guy. And he also bought my son a bicycle. I'm so happy. This guy is a very good manager. That is what I call the point of depersonalization, the point of ceasing to live, but to begin to exist. That person does not understand that even the manager who actually is referring to as Shona, by right he should have actually chased him from that office that he is finding himself in. But what does that mean? It is that point that I was talking about that we are in as a people. So how do we define our gathering here? I will define our gathering here by referring to what is happening here today has a history. Other people have done it before. Dr. Nguni and Dr. Matabeleland, I'm sure you would remember, there is something that is called negritude, which was started some years in the 1920s. The 1920s, stretching to the 1960s, it became a movement, sort of. It was like Back to Africa movement with scholars like M. Cicere and scholars like Leopold Sedar Senghor, the first president of Senegal, and others. They were the ones who actually started talking about Back to Africa movement, black consciousness and issues of history.